showtime.
The boys are back. That's right, Florida Man Sports is here with another exciting episode. So just sit back, relax, and enjoy the ride. This is Florida Man Sports.
Ladies and gents, Florida Man Football, we're back.
Assalamu alaikum.
Now, oh my God, I am lightheaded. Holy smokes. Okay. Wow. Florida Man Football streaming on major platforms.
What happened? What happened?
Johnny Cinco goes to the top rope. They're streaming it on major platforms. Please like, share, subscribe. Oh Lord. And you know, I think I know why you're so happy, Johnny Cinco. I think I know why you're so happy.
What is that?
I think that you're so happy because here at Florida Man Football, we are kind of on a hot streak over the last 3 weeks.
Yeah, we are.
Yeah, we're not recording in the studio together like we normally do the last few weeks because of vacation, because of travel and whatnot. But
Yeah,
we have been
some
getting
technical difficulties, but we're
Yes,
all right. We're
yes.
figuring it out.
but we are getting the picks in. That's what matters, right? And this week, Johnny Cinco, before we go over the picks, it's your week for you to do those picks. Let's talk a little bit about our Florida teams and a little bit of what
Okay.
happened this week in the NFL. Let's just kick it off with the Dolphins, right? We predicted that the Dolphins would win this game against Washington. They won a 16-13 game. As it stands, Johnny, the Dolphins are 4-7. Is this going to be like a John Gruden type of thing where like they squeak their way back into the playoffs? What are your thoughts on the Dolphins winning this game? I mean, we called that they were going to win, right? But what are your thoughts in general going forward for the Miami Dolphins?
Okay, they've given their fans hope. You know, they definitely have given their fans hope because they won this game. You know, the stretch they're going to go on, they're not playing any playoff teams for the next 4 games. You know, they're not playing anyone of real like substance. So they can really honestly go on a 5-game win streak and really give their fans hope
Right.
just to lose in the first round in the playoffs. But because we know that Miami and Tua specifically cannot play in the cold. So they better not play anybody up north. They better not play New England. They better not play Buffalo. They better not play Baltimore. And it appears, you know, that they have to play the Southern teams. I don't see Jacksonville getting into the playoffs, and somehow they're playing Jacksonville there. So it should, or any of the Carolina teams. So it should be interesting. They can go on a run, but this is just false hope. I feel bad. This is false hope. You know, we put a fork in the Dolphins a couple of weeks ago, Chris, and I'm not going to, you know, get off of that because even if they go on a streak, good, but is it? Because
Right.
you're not really competing for a championship. You're missing out on a good, you know, draft pick next year. There's some good players coming in next year's draft that can really help your team. What's the upside here? I don't know, Chris. Do you see an upside?
No, and you sound like a great commentator last week in Florida Man Football that said very similar things. So I'm glad you know when to listen. But no, you know, I think that false hope is what we said last week, and it's the truth. I will stop you at the playoffs. They're not making the playoffs, Johnny Cinco. I know that you said that, but you don't really believe
There's a
it.
possibility.
The Dolphins are not making the playoffs. They're going to win some games, and then they're going to have another season or off season rather, where we're asking ourselves, what do we do with Tua? Talking about teams, Johnny Cinco, that we put a fork in them. I like what you said earlier. We put a fork in the Jaguars. And then they go out and they win 35-6 against the Chargers, a team that we're very high on here at Florida Man Football. You know, is it time for us here at Florida Man Football to apologize to Duval County and to the Jacksonville Jaguars? Or is this just one of those things that's going to happen? They're going to be back to normal this coming week. What does that look like for you?
No. What I'm going to stand by what we said. I'm sure you will as well. They're done. Yes, they beat the Chargers. They own the Chargers. Let's not forget, they were losing to the Chargers in the playoffs, 21 or 28-0 going into half, and they came back and won that game. So, no, they own the Chargers. This was an outlier. This is something like, okay, good. This isn't something that's like, okay, now they're going to turn around. Now Trevor Lawrence is going to have a masterful game. No, this defense is a good defense. It's a good game plan, and they just, for whatever reason, own the Los Angeles Chargers. Whether in Los Angeles or San Diego, it doesn't really matter. They own them. So I think this is just an outlier. I don't see anything that is going to say that's going to convince me. I didn't see anything in this game that's convinced me that okay, they fixed their issues. Now they're going
Right.
to go on a run. No.
Well, here's what I will say, and just call out what the remaining schedule is going to be. Right, you got the Cardinals, you got the Titans twice, the Colts, the Jets, the Broncos, and the Colts again, and to finish off the season. So it's definitely a somewhat of a favorable schedule, but we're not going to steer, like you said, Johnny Cinco. I'm sticking with the 8-9
Uh-huh.
wins that I gave him. I'm going to stick with that. I'm happy for Duval for getting a very nice win. It's a true testament of the culture change that they're trying to make out in Jacksonville, right, Johnny? But
Uh-huh.
just not going to happen this year. And lastly, Johnny Cinco, Florida Man Football, streaming on all major platforms. Let's go to our Tampa Bay Buccaneers, where up until the third, even to the first of the fourth quarter, there in the beginning of the fourth quarter, rather, it was a great game, a great game. And then the score doesn't really tell a story here. The Bills win 44-32. What are your takeaways on that game?
Well, that game, I understand we wanted the Bucks to win. We expected them to kind of do something, but you said something that the one thing I didn't agree with you on was that you said that Tampa needed this win more, so they're going to win. And I said, I don't know about that. I think if you're looking at this, Buffalo needed this win a lot more. The Bucks are fine. They're handling the NFC South. The Bills could not afford to lose this game, especially what the Patriots are doing in that division. They couldn't. And, Josh Allen with 6 touchdowns willed this team to victory. So hats off to Josh Allen, the Bills. They needed this win more, and it showed.
Well, just so you know, and we'll talk a little bit more about that with your picks coming up here, Johnny Cinco. But I mean, let's be real. The Bucks are 6-4 now. Panthers are 6-5. So when you say that the Bills needed it more, I don't know about that. I guess we're going to have to see the way the rest of the season goes. But I guess your point was simply being that that division is harder than the NFC South. But hey, here
You,
are
you
the
know,
Panthers. Here are the Panthers finding ways to win games. So something to note.
are you? I understand that's something to note, but
Mhm.
you and I both know that Carolina is not going to beat Baker Mayfield and the Tampa Bay Bucks in the division. The Atlanta Falcons are not going to do it. The Saints are not going to do it. There's good teams. The Falcons, we said before the season, they're going to improve this year. They're going to be better. They're going to shock some people. But their season was so bad last year. Any little victory is amazing. So yes, congratulations. You guys are overachieving, but ultimately they're going to come up short because they're nowhere near as good as the Bucks. The Saints are just a mess. They're rebuilding. And the Falcons, who have so much talent but have terrible coaching, it's just not going to happen. And Penix is going to essentially be gone for the season. So we already know that. Cousins is not the same guy, but he could be somewhere else. It's just bad coaching that by default, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers are going to win the NFC South. So I'm not worried about it. I understand they're close, plenty of football left, plenty of time for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers to go ahead and pull away with this division title.
From your mouth to God's ears. We'll get into those picks. Before we do that, Johnny Cinco, one last thing here at Florida Man Football. In the week
Mm-hmm.
that was, any other highlights? I know Shadir Sanders got to start, or not start, excuse me, but he came in from a
Yeah,
concussed Gabriel. So any thoughts on anything of this week before we go into next week's picks?
yeah. I think we have to. We continue to kind of tease this and talk about this a little bit every week. But I think we have to come to the point to understand that the NFL we have to look at as purely entertainment, like we look at WWE and certain things like that. Unfortunately, I feel bad saying that way, but it is ridiculous and how Vegas has just taken over this sport. I mean, give you an example, Chris. I know you saw the Cowboys game. I know you saw it that we were all watching Monday Night Football. Can you explain to me something that I've never seen? I've never seen in all my years of watching football. The Cowboys were handling, they were winning, doing their thing. 2 minutes and 31 seconds left in the game. They're on the Raiders' 6-yard line, and they take a knee. And they take a knee at exactly 49 points, and the over under was 49.5. 49.5 over under in that game. They're at 49 points, and they take a knee.
Yeah.
Just no field goal. I've seen plenty of games where you're mad that we're beating you. Stop us. At the very least, you don't want to rub it in. You run it, you rush it, kick a field goal, and move on. You keep the flow of the game going. Raiders had all their timeouts. They didn't call one of them. It's the most obvious display of Vegas buffoonery I've seen this year, and it's just how much more of this we're going to take. I don't get it.
Well, clearly we have a very famous and popular podcast here at Florida Man Football, so clearly we're going to keep taking it in the chin. Because that was going to be my point to you, Johnny Cinco, that at the end of the day, the wheels don't stop, the views don't stop, the millions of people that are tuning in doesn't stop. So I guess what I'm saying is I don't have a solution to the problem, but I do agree with you that it's there and it's existent, and it's just terrible for me. It's terrible because at the end of the day, you love the game. We love the game of football. We
Yeah.
love to cheer for our favorite team and more importantly for our favorite players. And to think that the one thing, Johnny, the one thing that can manipulate the games is what? It's the refs. It's the refs.
Yes.
And that's the you can say that the NFL is honest, you can say the NFL is real, but at the end of the day, when the NFL is pulling the strings via the refs, anything is possible. Now, I will say this. I would love to see with AI out there and all that, these stats, Johnny. I would love to see the stats over the last couple of years, how bets and gambling has changed. I'm sure there's an algorithm that AI can show us maybe to prove our point right, to see how the discrepancy of these games that are just so one-sided, right? That it's just completely, or like all the money gets shifted to the left, so then they bet the right, and it's just a mess. So I would love to see that to prove our points right.
Yeah, and I think that it's more concerning, Chris, because you're referencing the refs, and the
Mm.
refs have played their part in previous seasons, especially since gambling has been essentially just widespread and legalized. But this is more than just the refs, Chris. I mean, this for that move to happen, the coaches, New York needed to call the coaches, they needed to call Pete Carroll. I mean, they needed to call, the Cowboys coaching staff and be like, hey, take a knee here. You can't score here. You can't do it. Hey, Pete Carroll, don't call any
Yeah, a
timeouts.
deliberate a
Don't do this.
deliberate move. Yeah,
It's like,
yeah.
what is going on? Um, it saddens me. It pisses me off a little bit. I mean, I still love my football, but something something needs to happen. I don't know what's going on, but um, we'll
Yeah.
see, Chris.
Well, keeping that in mind, we're still excited here at Florida Man Football. We do love our football when it's played the right way, right, Johnny Cinco? And with that being
Yes,
said,
sir.
here at Florida Man Football, we've gotten hot. We've gone 3 weeks in a row. We're going to
Yeah.
make it 4. We're going to make it a month here, Johnny Cinco, where the
Yeah.
picks are just coming in hot. And we're going to start with the Bills and the Texans here, Thursday night football. You've got the Texans that are at home. I know Mills is playing for the Texans right now. It still looks like Stroud's going to be out again. They're playing better football with Mills, by the way, at
Agreed.
quarterback.
Yes. Yes.
Texans are the home team after the Bills' very lucky win over the Bucs. Is this an upset here, or do the Bills still win on the road?
You can't have a victory like the way the Bills did against the Bucs and look the way they did, and then follow that up with a loss against a subpar team. Yes, they look better with Mills, but the Bills are going to win this game.
Unless the refs have anything to say about it, I agree 100%. Bills win. Let's talk about the Steelers and the Bears, Johnny Cinco. As we know now, man, the Bears are for real. I mean, let's call it what it is. They find ways to win games. They're at 7-3. They're 3-1 at home, Johnny. The Steelers, we just heard that Aaron Rodgers has that broken left hand or that slight break on his hand. Who's winning this game?
Well, I don't think Aaron Rodgers is going to play in this game. We know Aaron Rodgers owns the Bears, owns them. But while it's not broken, it's still something they need to monitor. I think being 41 years old, I don't think Aaron Rodgers is going to play this game. So
Oh,
I
wow.
can't expect Mason Rudolph to go ahead and come in and win this particular game. I don't expect it. I do expect, they haven't announced it yet, but they said it's not broken, but it's a fracture. Being 41, I think
Yeah.
they're going to go ahead and take him give him the week off. Bears win this game.
Bears win at home. Patriots and Bengals, Johnny Cinco. The Patriots are in unbelievable 5-0 on the road. You got the Bengals at 2-3 at home. They're 3-7 overall. The word on the street is that we may get Joe Burrow back this game. If not, this will be the last game he's out. Who's winning this game?
Well, the word on the street is that Burrow's not going to come back this game. He's not going to come back this game. If somehow the Bengals win this game, then Burrow is coming back against the Ravens the following week. If they do not win, they're going to reevaluate. Probably not going to, because the season's lost. They still have a chance. This is where the funny business comes in with the NFL. And it's just, the Patriots are a significantly better team. I'm telling you right now, there's going to be some funny business this game. Somehow, because they want to see Burrow, because they want the NFL wants to see something going on here, the Bengals are winning this game. It's an upset. The Patriots have won 7 in a row. They seem unstoppable. Best team in the NFL. The only thing that can stop them right now is the NFL, and they will. Bengals win.
I'm taking the Bengals too here. It's always unanimous in Florida man football, but I'm taking them for different reasons, Johnny Cinco. At the end of the day, the Patriots are not as good as they think they are, and the Bengals are going to win legitimately. Bengals win. You like how I did that?
I mean, listen, it's a ballsy play for even for us to call it.
Right.
Chase isn't playing this game.
Right.
Chase is not going to play this game because he's an idiot
Right.
who spits on a player and says he didn't do it. What kind of an idiot just hawks a loogie at someone,
Yeah,
but
on
then
national
says
TV.
I didn't do it. I didn't do it. You know, but then
Yeah.
that's not the worst part. He does it. And it's like, no, I never spit on that man. Like
Yeah.
you serious? Like you
Own
own
it.
up to it, bro.
Own it.
But
Yep.
Jesus. But still,
100%.
somehow, Bengals are going to find a way to win.
Speaking of owning it, Johnny Cinco, the Giants are 0-6 on the road, 2-9 overall in the season. They're taking on the Lions at home. Lions at 6-4. I feel like the Lions are a lot better than a 6-4 record should indicate. Who is winning
They
this
are.
game?
They're better. Come on now. It's don't overthink this particular one. The Lions coming off a tough loss. There's no way they're going back to back, especially with one of those losses again coming against the Jersey Giants. Yeah, Lions are winning this game.
Let's talk a little bit about the Vikings and the Packers, Johnny Cinco. This is probably going to be one of those great games, I think.
Good game. Yeah.
Yeah, Vikings and Packers always is tough. Packers are 3-2 at home, 6-3-1 overall. I feel like that tie, Johnny's going to end up biting him in the butt at some point. At any rate,
As
the
it
Packers
should.
are at home. Who's winning this game?
I mean, as it should. I mean, the fact that they went for that tie it was just nonsense. I'm still pissed off about that. But it's difficult. JJ McCarthy's hot and cold. He can be elite. He can look like a rookie at times here. But this Packers team is a better team. They're playing at home. I have to believe, even though I've seen them with the most pedestrian offense, Matt LaFleur needs to stop calling the offensive play calls. He needs to go ahead and hand that over to someone else because that guy's called horrible play calls, especially when the game's on the line. But still, the Packers are going to find a
Well,
way
let,
to
let
win
me,
this
let me,
game.
Johnny Cinco, let me just throw in, and I should have said this before. I apologize. You know this already, of course, Florida man football. But Jordan Love got nicked up. He is supposed to play, but
Yeah,
he's beat up a little bit, and then Jacobs may be out for the game. We're not sure yet. So with that said, we're still sticking with the Packers at home.
that's correct.
Oh, Packers win at home. Johnny Cinco, to a better, much easier game, I think, here to decide. You got the Seahawks and the Titans, where the Titans are 0-5 at home. They're 1-9 in the season. The question is very simple here. Do they get their first win at home against the Seahawks?
Serious, bro? What? No, come on, man. Seahawks will win this game, even though Sam Darnold took a lot of heat for looking terrible in an important game, which has been his MO.
Hmm.
The Titans are not an important game. This is a type of game where he's going to shine. This is a type of game where if you have him on fantasy, you start him. He's going to go off on this Tennessee Titans defense. Seahawks win.
Let's just sidebar this because it's another consensus here. The Seahawks win. I agree with you 100%. But you got to go back to Sam Darnold and the Raiders, not him signing with the Seahawks rather, and the Raiders picking up Smith, right?
Yeah.
Good move overall for the Seahawks. And I don't want to just base it on the fact that the Raiders are 2-8 and that the Seahawks are 7-3. But overall, you think it was a great move?
Dude, I mean, nobody's really expected much from the Seahawks. Sam
Hmm.
Darnold is really having a great season. He had one horrific game. One horrific game. At least it's not in the playoffs. It's a horrible game, but all in all, on point. There's a lot of teams kicking themselves for not picking up Sam Darnold, for not picking up Daniel Jones,
Hmm.
not picking up these type of players. They're not. So it's perfectly fine. The head scratcher is not so much is Geno Smith at the Raiders.
Hmm.
I understand the move because Pete Carroll trusts him, likes him, thought he can run his system, and he can, but it's not the same offensive line, Pete.
Exactly.
Geno needs ultimate protection. He doesn't have it. He is the bottom of the barrel quarterback. So, that's a great move by Seattle. I'm not mad about it at all. I expect them to get in the playoffs with Sam Darnold. If they went with anyone else, I can't say that I expect the Seattle to actually make the playoffs. So no, they give themselves a shot with Sam Darnold. It's a good move.
Yeah, I completely agree with that. Let's talk about the Colts and the Chiefs, Johnny Cinco, where the Chiefs, they lost last week. They're sitting at 5-5. They're still in the playoff race statistically. You got the Colts
Yes.
at 8-2. They took a loss recently here, so they're trying to figure out if they are the rightfully so 8-2, right? The Chiefs are at home at 4-1. Who is winning this game?
Listen, I told you before the season the Chiefs are falling off. And I understand that they get some calls here and there, but NFL ultimately has moved away from the Chiefs. The Colts are one of probably are definitely top 3 teams in the AFC. So I'm sorry, no. The Colts are going to go ahead and handle business against the Chiefs, and somehow the Chiefs are going to be under 500. Can't believe it. And the Broncos, bro, they're running away with the AFC West. They continue. Bo Nix just outperformed. Mahomes, the Denver Broncos completely outperformed the Chiefs. The Chiefs were not getting the calls that they're used to. The crybaby Mahomes was begging for calls. It wasn't getting them. All in all, I think the Colts are a better team. Jonathan Taylor is going to have an amazing game this particular game. Daniel Jones just needs to be a game manager, and the Colts are going to win this game.
Yeah, to your point, the Broncos get a much needed break in the bye week. I think they got a perfect bye week for that record, and ultimately, I think that they have a better record than anyone, even Bronco fans right now, would have anticipated this season. So kudos to them.
Yeah.
Let's talk about the Jets and the Ravens. Johnny Cinco, the Ravens are at home. We've seen what this team is with Lamar Jackson. The Jets, they did win a couple of games over the last few weeks. Who's winning this game?
Ravens will win this game.
Nice and easy. I kind of
Yeah,
felt the same way to be nice
we
and
don't
easy.
we don't need to have an over evaluate this game. Ravens are win this game.
Let's go. Talking about well, this was not, I don't know if this was that easy, especially because Sanders is going to be probably the quarterback here, Johnny Cinco. We're talking about 4 o'clock games now. The
Yeah.
Browns and the Raiders. The Raiders are the home team. We talk a little bit about Geno Smith, but it's essentially going to be Smith and Sanders going at it. Who is winning this game?
It should be an interesting game. Everybody's kind of hoping that Sanders starts. It's not definite because Dylan Gabriel's still on that concussion protocol. He could clear it. Even if he does clear it, for the love of God, Cleveland, start Sanders. I don't care about the little sample size I saw in the previous game, which wasn't enough to really tell you anything. People were the haters were loving it, but it wasn't enough. Just
I
let
agree.
the kid
I agree.
play out the rest of the season. This is a situation where the owner wanted him, the coach doesn't, and he's just fighting it. I'm like, just let it happen, see what happens. You're not getting anything from Dylan Gabriel. Just let it ride. And I think in this particular game, his first start, Shadir Sanders, if he plays, I'm expecting him to play. I would probably have a different take if Gabriel was starting this, but I have to assume right now, early in the week, that Shadir Sanders is going to go and start. The Browns are going to win this game against the Raiders.
Yeah, same here. I agree with you 100% on that, Johnny Cinco. And I'll say the Browns are 0-5 on the road, so this would be obviously their first win. But more
Yes.
importantly, the only thing I don't agree with here is
Everybody
that
wins in Vegas.
is that exactly right? Is that the Sanders should be the starter the rest of the year? I definitely think he should start this game, play the whole game, and then kind of take it on a week by week basis and see what he does. But we'll have to see. Let's
Okay.
talk about the Jaguars and the Cardinals, Johnny Cinco. The Cardinals are at home at 1-4. We already know the changes at quarterback that they made. The Jaguars are 6-4, feel like they're 8-2, right? Who's winning after last week's win against the Chargers? Who's winning this game?
It is funny, 6-4, and the Jacksonvilles are all high fiving each other there. But
Mhm.
you look at Detroit, who are also 6-4, and they're not too happy about that. So it's just, yeah,
Mhm.
happiness is all about perspective, I guess.
Mhm.
So with the Jags, come on, guys. I know that Thomas has been injured, been a little hurt. I don't know if he's going to play this particular game. But you have to handle an Arizona team that's depleted themselves. So while what Arizona's 1-4 at home, everyone is winning in Arizona. It's not difficult. There's no reason for you guys to go ahead and do that. Have that game against the Chargers and then
Mhm.
follow it up with a loss. No. And this is what pisses me off because every time I do this to myself, Chris, when we talk about like, okay, they should win this game, they
Right.
find a way to lay an egg. And I'm
Right.
like, and everything's telling me they're gonna lay an egg, but no, they're gonna come through, Chris. The Jacksonville Jaguars are gonna win this game against the Arizona Cardinals.
Hey, listen, and to your point, Johnny, look at the money line. The money line says Jacksonville -2.5. Look at how close. It shouldn't be that close of a game. Jaguars should win this game based on what we've seen and what we know on paper and the coaching style,
Yes.
etc. So Jaguars win. Let's go. Moving on to the 4 o'clock games here, Johnny Cinco. Some more of them coming out here. The Cowboys, they win last night on Monday Night Football. They're now
Yes.
2-1-1, taking on the Eagles. This game says Philly -3.5. It's not like a huge, difference in scoring. Who's winning this game?
I mean, you're looking at everything else. It's hard to pick against the Eagles, bro. It's hard to pick against them. And I know that you're big on the Cowboys. Are they going to go ahead and make the playoffs? If they're really going to make the playoffs, Chris, they have to win this game. They
Mm.
have to win this game if they're going to make it. They have to beat one of their divisional flow. They're the Super Bowl champs. They have to find a way to win. Their offense always looks good. Their defense, not so much. I'm sorry, Chris. I know you're big on the Cowboys. I cannot look at this game and honestly pick the Cowboys to somehow beat the Philadelphia Eagles. Barkley is going to run all over these guys. Hurts is going to go ahead and run all over these guys. So while yes, I still see the Cowboys getting some points. They're going to get the passing attack with Lamb and Pickett. And Pickens is extraordinary. We saw Monday Night Football how good it was. But let's not forget they were playing against the Raiders. Now they're playing against the Eagles. Eagles win this game.
I mean, hey, look, it's a Florida man football consensus, right? So we're taking the Eagles to win this game. It doesn't mean that the Cowboys are out of the playoffs with the record; they're still hanging on. But I'll say this, man. At the end of the day, offensive power is offensive power. The Cowboys have it, so anything is possible any given Sunday.
Yeah.
And I'll also say this, the Eagles have their own problems. Brown is an issue almost every week as far as having to have personal, private meetings. Will he get the ball? How many touches? And whatnot. So, hey, any given Sunday, anything is possible, but we're taking the Eagles this one. Eagles win.
Chris, how the heck did the Eagles just trade Brown? You could have traded him, got a first round pick for him. Just trade him, get the money off the books, got a first round pick. This guy's pissed. You don't really need him. Obviously, you don't need him because you're not using him. You're still winning football. So
No, of
why
course,
pay
of
him the
course.
money you're paying him? Go ahead and trade him, get a first round pick, move on. But no, I don't get it.
Just keep in mind the other side of the coin, Johnny. That's speculative, right? Because for one, you have to who was going to give him a number one pick. I'm not saying that there wasn't a team out there. We just don't know. But then number two, you could play devil's advocate and say just having him out there, even though he's not getting the ball, is a distraction on offense, and it helps their team in that regard. You know what I mean? But to your point, like what team would have offered a first round pick for him is the question.
Well, my sources say that the Chiefs were involved in it. There were a couple
Mm,
other teams that were definitely, just calling in, seeing. And the problem was
mm.
that they weren't exploring it. They were calling, no, hang up the phone, hang up the phone, hang up the phone. And if they
That is a
just would have
problem.
explored
That
it,
is a problem. Yeah.
I'm telling you, if once the GMs would have been known this a possibility, more than one team would have offered a number one pick. I firmly believe that.
There you go. Johnny Cinco, let's talk a little bit about the last 4 o'clock game on Sunday. It's another divisional game here. It's going to be a great game. It always is. It's the Falcons and the Saints. I know you wouldn't think much at 2-8 and 3-7, but you've got, to your point you're talking about earlier, Kirk Cousins is going to be back. So he's going to be playing on the road here against the Saints, who are 1-4. The money line says New Orleans -1.5. Who's winning this game?
The Falcons are such a better team on paper. It's like, but horrible coaching. I do like Kellen Moore as a coach. I think he's a much better coach for the Saints. And so it's interesting here. It's like, okay, you have
Mhm.
a better team, you have a better coach, but still subpar. What's going to happen here? What can happen here?
Yeah.
This particular game, I have to go with a better team and go with the Falcons are going to go ahead and handle the Saints.
Yeah, I mean, we picked the Falcons to win last week against the Panthers, and they disappointed us there. I can't imagine that they do it twice. So kudos there on the Falcons. Talk a little
Agreed.
Sunday Night Football, Johnny Cinco, Florida Man Football. We are streaming on all major platforms, so please like, share, and subscribe. We are talking about the Bucs and the Rams. There's nothing to say here, Johnny Cinco, when it comes to the
Man.
Bucs, right? And we're back to back hurt losses here. The Rams 4-1 at home. The money line says the Rams -7. Who's winning this game?
The Buccaneers, with when they're healthy, we've talked about this before, are arguably the best team in the NFC. Right now, the Rams are the best team in the NFC. They're playing at home. The Bucs can. This is a game the same way I saw the Bills last week. It's where they couldn't afford to lose. The Bucs can't afford to lose this game. Yes, if somehow Carolina, wins, if somehow I think something happens there, and the Bucs lose 3 in a row, yes, they have a tough schedule. They play 3 tough opponents. To look at this, I honestly believe, even though the Rams right now on paper are the better team, that Baker Mayfield's going to will this team, this Buccaneer team, to a victory. That's tough for me to go and say because the Rams are so good. There's Matthew Stafford, the Rams are so good, but the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, somehow Baker Mayfield's going to show his, the testicular fortitude, everything that we see in this guy. The same way we saw with Allen when they needed this win, and the Buccaneers were playing them tough. And they were like, no, and Josh Allen just went ahead and said, hold my beer. I need this win. I'm into it. I expect Baker Mayfield this week to do the exact same thing, say, the hell with this. Yes, on paper, you're a better team, but not this Sunday. Not right now. I'm going to handle business. Bucks win.
I love to hear you say that, Johnny Cinco, for the obvious reasons that we need to keep up, but I think you nailed it on the head. The schedule doesn't get easier for the Bucs. We have one of the harder schedules to finish off the year, and I'm going to tell
Yes.
you something. It's just funny any given Sunday, right, Johnny? Just imagine just 3 weeks ago how high we were. We were feeling really good, and now we're sitting here at 6-4, worried about being 500. So I love it. Bucs win. Let's go. Let's wrap this one up, Johnny Cinco. We're talking about Monday Night Football now. You got the Panthers team we were just talking about referencing, and the 49ers, where somehow, some way, Johnny Lewis and the 49ers are 7-4. I can't believe that. And the Bucs are 6-4. Anyways, Niners are 7-4, 2-2 at home, taking on the Panthers at 6-5. Where the Panthers, obviously, at this point, Johnny, they're seeing blood in the water, right?
Yes.
They are the road team. San Francisco money line says -6.5. Who's winning this one?
This is going to be a very close game. I get it. It's tough for us to wrap our heads around the fact that Carolina's competitive this year, but they are.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
San Francisco is, riddled with injuries, and all the San Francisco fanboys are like, use that as an excuse. I don't want to hear that. You figure it out. Your best ability is availability. If it's not next man up, I don't want to hear excuses. Figure it out. The San Francisco 49ers are going to figure it out and win this game against Carolina, which ultimately helps the Bucs and everything that they're moving forward on what they're going to do. With the Carolina loss, the Bucs win. They take a stranglehold of the NFC South, and we have a little more breathing room here. But San Francisco should win this game, even though they have the easiest schedule in the NFL.
Hey, much needed breathing room. I agree with that pick as well, Johnny Cinco. And I'm going to say, too, Purdy looked good coming back this last week. So they've got that going for themselves. And ultimately, I think that they're the better coach team. So 49ers win at home. Johnny Cinco, as far as the games, we know already a little bit. We talked about it. Sanders is playing. Kirk Cousins is going to be playing. So a few changes at quarterback. Anything else for this week that, or maybe any outliers or anything like that we want to call out before the games get started?
Well, I know I went ahead and I picked the Patriots to go ahead and lose this particular week as a trap game. Certain things what's going on there, but you at your time to admit through the week 11 here, is it easily for you to say that the Patriots are the best team in the NFL right now?
No, they're not. Not by a long shot. It would be irresponsible to grab a team with a first year coach, not first year overall, but first year coaching the Patriots,
What?
and because
What
they're
does that have
nine
to do
and
with
two.
anything?
No, because it's his first year, and it just automatically
Did
crown them
did
the best. Excuse me, sir. You asked a question to crown them the best team in the NFL. No, I'm not going to
yeah,
do that. It's
right
irresponsible.
now,
No,
this week. I'm sorry.
no,
Did
it's
John
irresponsible.
did John Gruden not win the Super Bowl with the Bucks his first year?
I mean,
So his
that's
first year,
irrelevant.
we're supposed to,
That's
so we're
irrelevant.
supposed to wipe that out. That didn't matter anymore. That didn't matter because
Vrabel
like no,
Vrabel is not Gruden. And I remind you that when Gruden came over to the Bucs, it was the number one defense in the NFL. So they were primed and ready. So don't
okay.
let history pass you by, my friend. Now
The
look,
Patriots, the
I'm gonna
Patriots have
answer
a
you.
top 5 defense right now,
I'm
a
gonna
top
answer
5
you.
defense, and a top 5 offense.
I'm going to answer you, my good sir. At the end of the day, I said this a few weeks ago, and all they've done in the meantime is win. As much as you want to talk about teams that are winning, and that goes back to the Philadelphia Eagles. They continue to win. They're at 8-2. I'm not going to sit here, Johnny. I'm not going to sit here and discard the Super Bowl returning champions with all the problems they're having with Brown and still have an 8-2 record and just discard them and disregard them. Furthermore,
No,
you picked them.
you're
Excuse me,
saving, you're
sir.
saving,
Excuse me,
you're
sir.
saving
You
that for the
picked them.
Patriots. You're
You
saving the
picked
disregard for
them.
Patriots. I
You
got you.
picked
Okay.
them. You picked them to beat the Cowboys this week. Ergo, they're still the team to beat. It's
When
very
you hit me with the
simple.
air, you hit me with the ergo. First of
Exactly.
all,
Ergo.
I'm
Ergo.
pick because I picked Philly to beat the
Mhm.
Cowboys. I think so high of them. No, I don't think that high of the Cowboys. You're gonna
Yeah.
sit here and hate on the Patriots
See,
because
same.
the Patriots had handled their business, and you want to sit here and not give them any of their props and everything they've accomplished so far. Now, things can change,
Listen,
obviously, right now, but
Johnny.
right now
I
they are the
think
best team.
okay.
If you've watched the games, I
They're
watched
the
Philadelphia
best. Listen
games.
to what you're saying.
Best
Listen to what you're
team
saying. We're at the
in the
34-minute mark.
NFL.
We're at the
So
34-minute mark,
you're
and I
saying
need
the
you to
Eagles are
listen
the
to
best
what you're
team.
saying.
You're
We're
saying the
at
Eagles are the best team.
100% until they lose again. Now, what I will tell you is you just picked the Bengals to beat the Patriots, and then you're calling the Patriots the best team. You see why people say you talk out of both sides of your mouth?
No,
This is exactly why. You can't pick them to lose and then say that they're their best team in the NFL. At the end of the day, somebody could make an argument and say that they're overachieving with a first-year coach for the Patriots, which is very common, and that they're overachieving. When they can do it consistently, then I'll start giving them more credit. Until then, you're just sounding like like your good friend. I think his name is Quinny. I think you're sounding a little bit like him. So
you're
calm down.
You said something that was so idiotic. So first year coaches is so common for them to be so victorious. Like that's what you're trying to tell me.
No.
How did Antonio Pierce work out with the Raiders? How did McDonald work out with the Titans? This
Of
nonsense.
course.
They're
What
no
I
longer
said
playing.
was, Johnny, is that it is common from time to time for a
No, it's
first-year
not common.
coach, like a
No,
first-year quarterback, to come
no.
in and do really well, and then the following year they go back to normal. So the fact that you're 9-2 right now with the eighth easiest schedule
Oh
in
my
the
God.
season is not like a accomplishment for me. So just take it easy. When you can do it consistently, like the Bucs, for example, win 5 division titles, then maybe I could be like, oh, you know what? The Patriots are a legitimate team to beat. Until then, you're not the number 1 team in the NFL, and you're going to lose this week according to your logic. Mic drop.
You can't say mic drop because it's just stupidity. You sit here and say like, oh, something that happens often but not so often is like that doesn't make any damn sense, bro. So for you to sit here and say that,
It makes perfect sense.
We're talking about right now. So you want to reference, even though in my argument I referenced, yes, I picked this team to win, this team to lose, but we're not at that week yet. So right now,
Oh my
as
God.
today, right now, in what
the Eagles are a better team. The Eagles are a better team.
They're
right
not.
now. The Eagles are a better team.
They're not.
Listen,
It's asinine. Asinine.
Catch your breath. I know I just hurt your feelings. The Lions are better than the Patriots. The Packers are almost at the same level as Patriots.
So,
the
6-4 team,
the
6-4 teams
are better than the Patriots. So I could keep going, but you know, I'll keep going when your mustache grows back.
The hate is real. The hate is real. It's all right, man. No, I know you got that earwax build up. You're not actually hearing what I'm saying. But the hate is real, man. It's okay, man. Well, we appreciate you guys watching and listening. I'm sorry for the technical difficulties. Eventually we'll figure it out. You know, once Chris upgrades out of Windows, we should be okay, and we'll figure it out from there. All right.
It's my fault. That's my fault.
Yes, it is. Later, guys. So we'll see what's up next week. Hopefully we're back in the studio together. Until then, later.
We out.